The Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame is proud to welcome the second woman governor of our great state, the Honorable M. Jodi Rell.
Thank you all. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please. I have to tell you, actually following Barbara Kennelly is a tough act. And she actually said everything. I was listening to her backstage, and I'm thinking, wow. But then listening to a speech by Grasso reminds me why we're all here. And I have to tell you that it is really an honor for me tonight to be here in the company of so many amazing leaders. And I thank all of you for being here. You know, the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame has done a tremendous job. The exhibit at the Hartford College for Women at the University of Hartford is quite simply inspiring. Acknowledges, I think, a broad range of achievements by women in Connecticut, both famous and lesser known, ranging from explorers to artists to public servants. In all of its years, 10, now the 11th, the Hall of Fame has expanded to include numerous programs and services in addition to the very many exhibits that they have. It is a privilege for me tonight to be here to help dedicate a new initiative that commemorates the efforts of one of many trailblazers in Connecticut, and that, of course, is Governor Grasso, the 1994 Connecticut Women Hall of Fame inductee. You know, I was talking to someone outside, and I said, every day when I get out of my car and I walk into the Capitol, many of you know that there is a statue outside of Grasso. When I was in the legislature, I used to bring school kids there and make sure that they looked at that statue. Well, actually, it actually became dedicated when I was in the legislature. And I have to tell you, it's one of my favorite pieces to have students look up and say, a woman governor in a skirt. I don't know why they had to put the skirt in there as part of the whole story. But it's kind of neat. And just on a personal note, I have to share with you that many of you know I have been doing these open houses around the state. And recently, when I was in Willimantic, you could tell that this little boy had practiced his speech before he got there, and he was standing with his mother, and he was very proud to be in line, and he said, "Good afternoon, Governor Rell. It's very nice to meet you." And I said, "It's very nice to meet you." And he looked up at me and he said, "Do you realize that you are only the second woman governor in Connecticut?" I said, "Somebody told me that." I was saying backstage that one of the other things that I'm hoping in our lifetime is that we get rid of that designation, the first. The first woman to do this, the first woman to do that. We've gained so much ground and we are on solid footing. And in our lifetime, I want it to be easily recognized that it's not just the first woman to do anything. You know, Governor Grasso was a very strong leader. She was a person who literally built bridges. She was the one who served during a real tough time of tension. But she was able to bring both sides of the aisle together, men and women together, unions and administration together, and she worked very hard at that. She was also the kind of person that literally set an outstanding example for everyone, especially for girls and young women. She began her career in local politics and as a volunteer working on education and labor issues. She then served as a state representative from Windsor, then Secretary of the State, and in Washington, D.C. as the congressional representative from what used to be the 6th Congressional District. She was elected in 1974 and was re-elected for a second term. She made history as the first woman elected in her own right as governor from any state, and we've had many since then, but she was the first, and we are proud of that designation. Governor Grasso paved the way for a future when saying things like a woman being a governor, a treasurer, secretary of the state, comptroller, or speaker of the House is no longer a novel approach.